I was so damn cold last night from, I literally had to get home and get in the shower to warm up. It was frozen.
Questions for Coach?
What was your reaction after you saw Nebraska, kind of the bracket revealed before Nebraska fell in that?
I mean, you're playing good this year. You're playing good teams, and there's going to be a lot of great matches. Like Holly said, it's really, really balanced and competitive. It's going to probably be the most dynamic, results-oriented tournament ever, and so I don't get too worked up on it. We got to find a way to get 2 wins this weekend and worry about next week. So, but you're going to play great teams, and so that's just, so I don't get too worked up. We owe Florida A&M because they beat us in 04. So.
Did you bring that up to the team yet?
Oh yeah.
Half of them aren't even old enough.
Yeah, they were all saying I wasn't even born. Yeah, well, I was there, so I saw it.
What do you remember from that 2004 match?
It was over in the Coliseum, and they had it was an international team that they had, a lot of international players. So, they were good.
What feels most rewarding about winning the Big Ten this year?
Going back to back's a big deal, but I think the biggest thing is when those 4 teams went in the Big Ten, my first reaction was, okay, we've won the Big Ten before. You just kind of know your routine. It's how many times you play some of these other teams in the Big Ten. And you play them once, you play them twice. That's kind of how it goes, right? And well, this year it was completely a new thing, and so I thought, okay, here's another great challenge, and this is a great challenge for us to try to win this new conference, kind of a super conference with those 4 teams in there, plus all the added travel that you're going to have. We had 3 home matches in the month of November, and so there's a lot of different challenges now, and the Big Ten was really good. We got 9 teams, so I think it was just a really good challenge. So it feels really great to win it because it's a new challenge, and it was the toughest it's ever been.
9 of your 11 non-conference opponents made the tournament. 7 of them were seeded. How do you feel like that played out with your non-conference this year?
Yeah, we had a very tough non-conference. We have the most wins against top 10 teams, and but we wanted to challenge this team, and so that's good. That's what I told them. I want them to feel confident that they've had a great season, and mentally prepare them for the tournament. It's not easy to win these Big Tens. Again, you got to do. Amy wrote a great article about it. It's 10 weeks. You got to. A lot of things have to go right. You got to get breaks. You got to do a great job of managing these guys over 10 weeks, and figuring out, playing all these other. And here's the other thing: we broke an attendance record every place we played. I mean, they had 13,000 last night at Maryland. So we're playing in all these gyms for the first time that are selling out. So. Another great accomplishment by our team, and that's what makes it feel great, and like it's a major accomplishment that we got done because of all those challenges. And anyway.
Before this week, what felt like the big win in the Big Ten that gave you a chance to contend when you got to the last?
I think winning at Wisconsin was okay, because we've lost there a lot, right? In fact, Nate pointed out, we've lost 4 out of the last Black Fridays we've lost. 3 of them have been on the road. So we got to get that fixed with the Big Ten, that 3 out of the last 4 years we've been on the road Thanksgiving. And, we got back at 2:30 in the morning last night. I mean, it's a tough trip after, especially the whole month of November. So, I mean, our players did a fantastic job, and the Penn State match was a great match, and we had to come back, and we were a little shaky last night, and then got it going. But it ain't easy.
Can you talk about how you recover from all the traveling? Is that something you can reveal at all?
Well, the biggest thing is getting sleep, And the problem is, when you play at Penn State, I mean, it's really hard to go to sleep, and we travel after the match. So then you got, we fly, then we got an hour bus drive to get to the hotel. So the key is trying to get sleep. When you're on the road, they've got to hydrate. We try to stay in a routine. But where it really hits us is like today. I'm sure a lot of them took naps today and got extra sleep, but we'll go through a recovery workout tomorrow. We're going to have kind of a mini yoga session, stuff like that. Try to give them some downtime because we've literally been together for half this month on the road. We pretty much, these guys have all been together, so we want to give them a little space before we crank it back up. But they got to take care of themselves. They got little rehab stuff that they do. So it's managing their bodies and their minds and trying to get them rested.
John, you've had some selection Sundays that have been a little bit stressful, and there's always been some intrigue after the bracket's been revealed. Does this maybe feel a little bit different? That maybe there was a better sense of where you would be and what it would all look like.
Well, I haven't thought that much about it, but it felt. It felt pretty good. Every bracket's tough. You're going to have to beat great teams, but that's what we have to do in the Big Ten. So we're used to it. So I just feel like the committee did a pretty good job. They were predicting back there, who was going where, and our guys were pretty accurate. How the seeds played out. They were like already saying so and so is going to be here, here, and here. And, we knew there was a chance we could get Wisconsin in our bracket. We knew there's a chance we could get Texas in our bracket, Creighton. Those are kind of the three that were hovering in that area. So, but I thought I think it's going to be a fun tournament to watch.
Do you appreciate winning conference championships more than you did earlier in your career?
Heck yeah.
Why?
Well, we went. Remember when I was here in the 2000s in the Big 12, we went like 90 straight matches or something and won, it was just like, okay, what else is left? You're just winning it every year. And now, coming in the Big Ten, it's a monumental achievement to get it done. It's really hard. How many teams have even won Big Ten championships, recently? And now with these 4 new teams in, it just raised the bar.
John, getting to play at home, you're not going to have to leave until the Final Four should you make it. How important is that, and what have you learned over being able to play in front of the home crowd for regionals, again, assuming you advance?
Yeah, I'm putting it on our crowd. They're going to will us to Louisville. They better will us to Louisville. That's their assignment. And I think they're going to be pumped because we haven't played very many matches in the last month. So they should be pumped, and I'm sure, there's just a lot of excitement in college volleyball now. 13,000 last night at Maryland. It was unreal. And there's just a lot of excitement, so tickets are going to probably be tight, and I'm probably going to have to take care of our student sections. So whatever I need to do to get those guys fired up.
Was that 13,000? Was there a lot of Nebraska fans? Was it loud for when you were scoring points there? What was the atmosphere?
It was loud for both teams. Yeah, it seemed like it was about 50-50 to me. But just that arena is a massive arena, and they do a really nice job. I don't know if you've been there, but like the one end zone, it is straight up. It's unreal how they designed it. So there's great seats in there, but they got the boards, the sound system, all that stuff going. And what was tough was this weekend was the first time we played on wood the whole season, so that was different. But then it was back to the old days, and I told the players in the old days, they didn't have portable baskets, so we played on game matches in gyms where there was baskets there, and of course if you went back there and hit it, they'd replay it. And, but they were having trouble even moving the baskets out of the way for our practice because when they moved them, there's trash everywhere. So those things haven't been moved in who knows how long. But, you're playing on a basketball court, so it was really weird. This huge gym, you got these lines and you got 3-point lines and everything going on. And so it took us a while to get comfortable. Yeah, but, you know, if they could have Terraflex in there, it'd be a really cool place to play.
John, what gives you confidence that this team can make a deep run here in the postseason?
You know, Kevin, I just talked to him about it. You know, if you look at where we started in January, all the things that we've had to go through, the challenges with our team, a lot you guys know about, a lot you don't know about, but they have really, really worked through a lot of stuff to get to this point. I just talked to him about stats from last year compared to this year. We're significantly better in every statistical category than last year. We lost fewer games this year in the Big Ten than we did last year. So I was just trying to point out, man, we're a better team than we were last year, and we had a great shot at that last year. So I want them to believe, and I want them to realize last year was kind of this magical ride, and this year's there's been a lot of things that have challenged us, and they've worked through it. And again, I'll give those two captains that were just in here a lot of the credit, because they have managed and got this team through it, and we've added some new players. We had players leave. So they've built a very strong bond and have been through a lot. And so those are the kind of things that give you the intangibles to help win these great matches we're going to have to play.
Final questions?
After all the times you played in that really small gym at Maryland, what was it like to walk in and see 13,000?
I kind of miss that little gym. It was a little cracker box. The difference was, you know, at least they have kind of somewhat of a volleyball court in there. It's just, but their arena is a really nice arena. So, but I like the small gyms. That goes back to the old days. I mean, we used to just go over and practice in Maple Leaf sometimes just to go over there because it was so loud and echoed in there, and I don't know. It's just the old school stuff.
Did the Maryland coaches say anything to you about helping to contribute to that?
They were really. I think they were kind of just blown away, like what was going on, and of course they had senior night afterward. Which, I mean, think of those seniors. They have like 8 or 9 seniors, and they're all out there, and a lot of people stayed. So what a special night for them, and but I think it's again another step for a program. Now they can capitalize on that in recruiting. I mean, that's huge. They can go around and say, hey, we got 13,000. You know, now they know, they've seen it and they can do it, and you know, maybe it'll help them build a new facility or something. That's what I'm hoping happens, because they really should have their own volleyball facility there, because that gym they play in is really an add-on gym. It's not really a. I mean, have you been in there? It's metal bleachers and yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Okay.